The forest floor crunched under my boots, each step a soft whisper against the ancient silence. I was deep in the Cascade Mountains, miles from any trail, chasing a rumora whisper on the wind about strange tracks and fleeting shadows. As a wildlife photographer, I live for these moments. The chance to capture something truly wild, something unseen. I'd been out here for 3 days. My camera, my only companion, my backpack, holding everything I needed to survive. The air was crisp, scented with pine and damp earth, and the late afternoon sun cast long, dancing shadows through the towering firs. I was setting up a shot, trying to capture the golden light filtering through the canopy, when I heard it, a faint rustling, not like a squirrel or a deer. It was heavier, more deliberate. I froze, my heart thumping a frantic rhythm against my ribs. Slowly, I lowered my camera and peered into the dense undergrowth. Nothing. I told myself it was just the wind, my imagination running wild after days of solitude. I turned back to my camera, adjusting the focus, when a small, dark shape darted out from behind a massive cedar tree. It wasn't a bear cub. It wasn't a primate escaped from a zoo. It was something else. It stood on 2 legs, maybe 3 feet tall, covered in shaggy, reddish-brown fur. Its face was surprisingly human-like, with large, dark, intelligent eyes that blinked at me with a mixture of curiosity and fear. It was a baby Bigfoot. My mind struggled to process what I was seeing. Every rational thought screamed that this was impossible, a hallucination brought on by exhaustion. But it was real. It was standing right there, just 20 feet away. Forgetting my camera, forgetting everything, he just stared. The little creature took a hesitant step towards me, then another. It made a soft, cooing sound, almost like a question. I didn't move a muscle, not wanting to frighten it. It seemed more curious than scared. Its large eyes scanned me up and down, then settled on my backpack, which I'd left propped against a Muscoved log. It tilted its head, its gaze fixed on the bright orange fabric. Slowly, cautiously, it ambled over to my pack. I held my breath, unsure what it would do. It circled the backpack once, sniffing it cautiously. Then, with surprising dexterity, its small, furry hands fumbled with the zipper on the main compartment. I was too stunned to move. It pulled the zipper open and began to rummage inside. I half expected it to tear everything apart, but its movements were gentle, almost delicate. It pulled out my spare socks, sniffed them, and set them aside. It pushed past my dehydrated meals and my first aid kit. I couldn't imagine what it was looking for. Then, it found it. Tucked in a side pocket was a small, worn-out photo album. It was old, the plastic cover cracked, but it was my most prized possession. It held the only pictures I had of my mom. She passed away when I was a kid, and I carried this album with me everywhere. It was my connection to her, my tangible link to a past I barely remembered. The little creature pulled the album out, its small fingers surprisingly adept at flipping through the plastic sleeves. It stopped on a picture of me as a toddler, sitting on my mom's lap. She was laughing, her head thrown back, pure joy on her face. I was looking up at her, my own small face beaming. The baby Bigfoot stared at the photo, its dark eyes wide. It brought the album closer to its face, its little nose almost touching the plastic. A soft, mournful sound escaped its throat. It was a sound of profound sadness, a whimper that echoed the ache in my own heart. It looked from the photo to me, and then back to the photo. And then it did something that shattered me. It gently closed the album, and with the utmost care, it hugged a little book to its chest. It held it tight, rocking back and forth, making that same soft, whimpering sound. It was as if it understood. It was as if this tiny, impossible creature could feel the love and the loss captured in that single, faded photograph. In that moment, it wasn't a monster or a cryptid. It was a child, showing empathy, showing a depth of emotion I never would have believed possible. Tears streamed down my face, hot and silent. I wasn't scared anymore. I was overwhelmed by a wave of emotion I couldn't name. Tis creature. This myth brought to life, saw the most vulnerable part of me, and didn't destroy it. It cradled it. It mourned with me. After a few moments, it looked up, its eyes meeting mine. The connection was electric, a silent understanding passing between two beings from different worlds. It gently placed the photo album back on top of my backpack, as carefully as it had taken it out. Then, a loud, deep call echoed through the forest, a resonant hoot that vibrated in my chest. The baby's head snapped up. It looked back at me one last time, its big, dark eyes conveying a world of unspoken meaning. Then it turned and scrambled back into the trees, disappearing into the shadows as quickly as it had appeared. I stood there, frozen, for what felt like an eternity. The sound of my own ragged breathing, the only thing breaking the silence. I never saw it again. I packed up my gear, my hands shaken, and hiked out of the mountains the next day. I didn't take a single picture of the creature. That moment wasn't for my camera. It wasn't for the world, it was for me. It changed everything I thought I knew about the wilderness, about the creatures that might be hidden in its depths, and about the nature of connection itself. That baby Bigfoot found my backpack, yes, but it also found a piece of my soul. And what it did with it didn't just break me, it put me back together in a way I never knew I needed.